I was wrong.
What is your name, Skyman?
Quaritch. Colonel Miles Quaritch.
Sorry. I fear we will not survive this.
I want Jake Sully!
I will eat your heart, Quaritch.
The Wind Traders, they're incredible. They're a combination of so many different clans, and they found a home, which is the sky.
Ready about!
They have their own unique wardrobe and culture, and their philosophy of life is the wind gives and the wind takes.
Windward, veins out full!
This clan's the most technologically advanced Na'vi.
Full to windward! Team!
They have this big, beautiful sailing ship in the sky.
It's like a small village suspended from the underside of a medusoid, which is a giant flying creature. And it makes up this huge caravan of wonder traveling through the skies of Pandora.
The Wind Traders are just cool. You want to go on that ship and you want to go on that adventure.
They say, if you see the deep ones, the Sion, their spirits sent to judge you.
The Sion are very simple. They're pack hunters, they're organized. I mean, they are super cool. They're just badass motherfucking squid.
Go, 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 go!
It has this very aggressive mouth and beak.
I wanted them to have a grasping capability.
The speed and quantity of them make it very intimidating and scary.
Look out!
You do not want to mess with the Sion.
We've got a situation down here!
The fire came from the mountain. It took everything.
The Ash people demonstrate that it's possible for the Na'vi to fall from the grace of Eowyn. The volcano erupted, destroyed their land, destroyed their habitat.
They have made their home in the burnt-out trunk of their home tree, using horns and teeth and animal hide.
They pierce their bodies, scarify themselves, and paint themselves from the ash and say, you can't destroy us.
I am the fire! Their leader is this terrifying warrior called Varang.
Varang, she's this menacing, fallen Na'vi.
I call upon the warrior mother.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
She's blinded by rage, and she figures out a way to harness their rage and turn it into fire and power.
Tulkun inbound!
In movie 3, we meet a new Tulkun character, the matriarch.
An epic-sized character.
She's big. The matriarch rocks up. She's all tattooed, 330 feet.
Piercings and banners and two bold chin rings.
And she's got this big, low voice that actually shakes the water. It's kind of amazing.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
You said you could protect this family. That you could do.
I was wrong.
When Avatar originally came out, I think we had an interest in kind of veiling the whole process of performance capture. It's almost like that magician not wanting to tell how a trick is done. You want to preserve the mystery.
I can't run. I can't fight. Well, that's right. Eowyn will provide.
It's not like you're standing at a podium doing a voice part.
We are in our suits that allow us to transform into a character, and we are deeply in the story.
If there is something you can do, then you must do it.
It allows the scene to just play through you. You can surrender to it completely.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
It's the most unencumbered way of working that I've ever experienced, and it totally spoils you.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
I mean, it was like being back in drama school. You know, Stanislavski and like all the different things where you just have a chair and it's just you. Finally, I could use my body, which was something that I always wanted to do. And just to be able to do the scenes with so much freedom was such a gift.
Jake, the strength of the ancestors runs in your son's veins. It was basically the education that I always felt I had never received in performance and theater and art, and being cast in Avatar and being given this amazing gift and access to all these resources.
You've seen what they can do. This is the only way. You gotta go right now.
Take your sister. Go and hide. Go! If you stay, I stay.
Whatever happens, do not raise that bow. You swear to me.
It's such an opportunity. I want everyone to get to do it. You're free. My God, you're so free, and especially working with a director as generous as Jim, who loves these characters and supports his actors. And it really gives the creative people so much freedom.
Our love will never fade away. We're diamonds in the dark.
My relationship with James Cameron really started at the Disney Legends event. He's just a total visionary, someone that I've wanted to collaborate with before. When James had asked for me to do the song, he was saying, I want it to live not only inside of the film, but also inside of the Miley Cyrus world that you've created, which is really exciting and also kind of a new challenge. It was extremely helpful to watch the film because we needed to be immersed the way that everyone else will be immersed in this world.
No matter where I go, never alone.
The strength of the ancestors is here.
Dream is One, for me, was about rebirth, rebuilding, and a new chance to start from the ground up.
Maybe when we dream as one.
It's a song that feels incredibly epic in the movie theater, but also it sounds pretty good just driving in your car, too.
Every time we dream, we dream.
This is the only pure thing in this world.
The Ash people, they have a very willful leader in Varang, one of Chaplin's character.
This new, very powerful, knowledgeable character enhances the threat to the Sullies.
How do you still live?
Because it is the will of Ewa.
Ewa.
She's like this young queen. Her subjects really worship her, and she has a curious alliance with the enemy.
You want to spread your fire across the world. You need me.
If you watch the way Una moves, it defines the character.
There was something special in Una's portrayal. I've got front row seats when we're filming, and it's even more shocking and even more frightening when you see it on a big screen.
You doing this?
Burn them all.
I am the fire!
With Avatar, I love the detail of bringing a world to life.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
Fire and Ash absolutely swerves into new territory. We see brand new cultures and creatures.
Filming an intelligent, fully fledged culture was really down to the details. Designing the wardrobe and the headdresses and the weapons was an immense challenge.
We created new clans like the Ash people. They have a very willful leader in Varang.
Show me how to make thunder.
The visual quality that they have is so different. They're heavily scarred, they have piercings. They are a clan of people who don't mind pain.
I am the fire!
And then we got a culture called the Wind Traders.
Lighten ship, come up easy.
They are nomads that have accessorizing that looks like wisps of clouds.
We had a huge practical set built that was the main deck of the Wind Traders floating gondola.
They were tools and weapons that were created for us. Anything that we needed to create the Na'vi was at our fingertips.
Our biggest goal is to honor the actor's performance.
Through performance capture technology, Jim and the digital team are bringing the world of Avatar to life.
What drives me is the sense of wonder that we're able to create in a movie theater. We're going to tell a story that's compelling emotionally in a world that's compelling visually. Avatar movies are made using 3D computing tools to create a 3D presentation. Our eyes don't see 3D. Each one sees a 2D image. They go into the brain, into the visual cortex, and that's where it gets turned in our minds into a stereoscopic view of the world. So shooting what we call stereoscopic 3D, that can apply to live action photography, and it can apply to CG rendered scenes. In live action, I need to shoot not with one camera, but with two cameras, kind of like human vision, two cameras side by side. The only problem with that is that the distance between the lenses, it has to move dynamically. If I'm coming in very, very close to an actor, I have to get the cameras closer together than they can physically go. They got to go to here sometimes. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you're shooting a beam splitter. One camera's looking through the beam splitter, the other camera's looking down. It's like a two-way mirror. And those cameras will move like this during the shot. If I'm tracking in on an actor from 20 feet back, those cameras will be here and they'll go to there. And it's all motion controlled. So we had to work all that out. In the year 2000, I just bolted two cameras side by side. Then we started working more and more with beam splitters, and then the rigs got big. And then we started to find very small cameras and smaller lenses that would have high quality. And we figured out the servo systems, essentially the robotics, that allowed these cameras to move and breathe. Also, as you move in, the cameras toe in, just like human eyes. If you ever watch somebody take a pencil and try to focus on it with both eyes, they'll go cross-eyed. Watch, I'll go cross-eyed for you right now. Okay, that's called toe in or convergence. So we have to do what the eyes do, and we have to do what the brain does to put 3D up on a screen and make it viewable for people. So as we speak of it today, my team and I have had 25 years of experience doing this. We know the technology, we know the guidelines, we know what makes beautiful 3D. I think that's one of the things that sets an Avatar movie or any Lightstorm movie that I'm involved with apart, is 3D that's simultaneously not trying to be a 3D movie every second and poke you in the eye. It's just there. It draws you in, it wraps around you, it makes you feel like you're physically present, much more so than a flat 2D movie. And at the same time, we want to make it comfortable. So it's that question of finding the sweet spot. I want to find that sweet spot where it's there and you see that it's in 3D and it's impacting you, usually at a subconscious level, but it's not a gimmick. It's not coming at you, it's not throwing stuff at you all the time. Maybe once in a while we'll throw something at you, but not that often. And so it's an art form. It's a technical procedure, and it's an art form. You know, we have to think of it like a score. Sometimes we want to be loud, sometimes we want to be quiet. You know, it's like the sound design of the movie. There's also the spatial design of the movie. And that's very important to us as artists. I don't think anybody goes to a movie because it's in 3D these days. I think you associate 3D with a certain type of filmmaking, a certain type of world building that you want to go and see on the big screen, and the 3D is just part of it. It's like the color, it's like the lighting, it's like the scope and scale of the world. And they all support each other, like the parts of an orchestra. And so, you know, like I could talk about 3D for hours, but that's sort of my approach and my philosophy. I can't wait to share more of Avatar Fire and Ash with all of you when it comes to theaters, December 19th.
Hi, I'm Zoe Saldana.
And I'm Una Chaplin.
In Avatar Fire and Ash, the Sullys are rebuilding and striving for a peaceful existence.
That is until they come up against their most dangerous enemy yet, Varang.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
Well, Varang can't compete with Neytiri. A mother who will stop at nothing to protect her family.
I mean, I don't know. Have you seen her? She's pretty intense, and she does not back down from a fight.
That's true. I mean, I wouldn't want to mess with Neytiri, though, when she gets into warrior mode.
Yeah, then I guess it helps to be able to harness the power of fire to unleash down on your enemies.
Which just means it's time to fight fire with fire.
So let the battle for survival begin.
Hello, I'm Stephen Lang, and I'm here at Lightstorm Entertainment's Stage 27 at Manhattan Beach Studios in Southern California. This is a particularly appropriate venue for the subject at hand, because today, well, I want to shed light on a much misunderstood discipline that has taken root within the world of professional acting in recent decades, namely the process called performance capture. This illumination will be accomplished by placing performance capture within the context of and in juxtaposition with another much misunderstood discipline that took root within that same world approximately a century ago, namely the practice of method acting. Performance capture and the method. Am I looking for trouble or what? But the fact is this: both of these disciplines are not only misunderstood, they're much maligned by more than a few voices within and without the world of professional acting. After all, it's been said, performance capture, it's not really acting at all, is it? But it's, well, it's behavior that serves as a template for animators to create exotic and otherworldly characters. It's merely a kind of human storyboarding, right? And as for the method, well, method actors are a bunch of time-wasting, mumbling, self-absorbed navel-gazers. My experience says otherwise, so let's illuminate. On the face of it, the two could be considered incompatible. After all, the method, by any definition, and there are many, is an inner process by which the actor mines their inner self for history, experience, and emotion that'll bring authenticity and truth to the role, whereas performance capture is fundamentally an exterior process dictating rigorously prescribed technical demands on an actor in terms of makeup, wardrobe, movement, and setting. An incongruous pairing, perhaps, but my experience with both over the course of a 5-decade career has convinced me that not only do these disciplines usefully complement each other, but that synthesizing the two in thought and conversation will expand and ennoble both in practice, thus serving to augment and sharpen the work of the professional actor. A bit of history. Back in 2009, when the first Avatar was released, visionary filmmaker James Cameron made the decision to de-emphasize discussion and publicity about performance capture. It was called motion capture, or mocap at the time. His reasoning was sound. Much like a magician not revealing how an illusion is achieved in order to preserve the magic, so Cameron wanted the audience to fully experience the wonderfully immersive real world of Pandora without peeking behind the curtain, so to speak. Well, the strategy proved successful and was repeated with the release of The Way of Water several years ago. And so, yes, the mystery was maintained, the magic preserved, but the price paid was a lack of understanding and appreciation for the capture process. I have found it both wearying and frustrating to read commentary or reviews that say, for example, oh, Zoe Saldana voices the role of Neytiri with skill, as if that's her sole contribution to the role. It's damning with faint praise. Now, to be sure, Zoe does embody the role vocally.
I'm in this place where I have nothing. Not my people, not my forest.
Just as she fully inhabits the role physically, emotionally, to the very core of her actor's soul, achieving via performance capture what the method founder Konstantin Stanislavski called переживание, translated from the Russian as experiencing. The method, at its core, it's a search for переживание. For Stanislavski, this meant living the role, an actor, bringing about a state of fusion, emerging of self and role. The method, that refers to an array of rehearsal techniques and exercises designed to achieve that goal. Now, the progenitors of the method include, of course, Stanislavski himself, Maria Uspenskaya, Sanford Meisner, the luminous Stella Adler, and most notably or notoriously, depending upon your point of view, Lee Strasberg. There's no question that while these fervent artist teachers contributed mightily to the development of acting in the 20th century, it is equally true that they disagreed violently amongst themselves as to what actually constitutes the method. The actor's studio, kind of ground zero for the method, and it was Strasberg's exclusive domain from the early 1950s until his death in 1982, and well beyond that, for his influence is felt to this day. Although the studio has been my artistic home for over 40 years, I've never been a Strasberg disciple, and in fact, I'm not strictly method at all. I will do whatever is necessary to inhabit a role, and that necessity changes from role to role. In effect, I must reinvent the process of acting every time I work on a part. But method is always in the mix. The method is like climate change. You can deny it or disdain it, but it is pervasively here to stay. And so personally, I embrace it when I need it. Years ago, I played Happy in a storied production of Death of a Salesman with Dustin Hoffman as Willy Loman. I had an intuitive grasp in my bones of both the role and the play. You see, I was the Happy in my own family, the seemingly cheerful mediator in the perpetually ongoing struggle between my father and my older brother, jollying them both along to lighten the mood and to mask my own anxiety. Perforce, the circumstances of my own life forged a connection between self and role that was pure method. Naturally, costuming and makeup completed the transformation, but the real work, the achievement of Per Giovanni, was accomplished in a perfect place, a bare-bones rehearsal room. The same principle applies to the volume, an empty stage in which performance capture happens. The Avatar movies are captured here at Lightstorm Entertainment on an unadorned sound stage resembling nothing so much as a theater rehearsal hall with movable gray building blocks to create set pieces. It brings to mind the seminal words of the great theater director Peter Brook: "I can take any empty space and call it a bare stage." A man walks across the empty space while someone else is watching him, and that is all that is necessary for an act of theater to be engaged. One caveat: the volume is a defined space circumscribed by 180 motion capture cameras all around the room. Instead of a traditional camera rolling film or taking photographs, they're tracking data from our motion. As an actor, I wear a special suit with retroreflective markers at each of my joints, the critical data points for my virtual character. And as long as I'm inside the volume, those motion capture cameras will track my movement. I also wear a head rig, which holds a boom in front of my face with a pair of high-definition cameras, and those cameras track dots on my face called markers. So, if I open my mouth and speak, the head rig cameras capture all the thousands of intricate muscle movements around my mouth, my neck, my forehead, and my eyes.
Got that?
Wherever I move in this three-dimensional space, an array of cameras above me capture my performance, instantly transforming it into my virtual character. Not a facsimile of my performance, but the very soul, the essence of what I bring to the stage. Every tremor of the hand, every facial tick or shifting of posture, right down deep into the windows of the soul, my eyes. Imagine the possibilities. A space not only beckoning and conducive to the actor, but in its stark simplicity, actually demanding work at its most imaginatively truthful. Performance capture allows me to play anyone, even, say, the recombitant Colonel Miles Quaritch, 9 foot tall, hugely muscled and blue. And yet, the process is acting at its most fundamental. An extraordinarily organic way for an individual or an acting ensemble to create Per Giovanni. Lights are up. No waiting for the director of photography to set camera or lighting. There are no crane shots or handheld camera. Simple grayscale sets ground our performances and align our bodies for camera. A gimbal, ekran, a boat, a harpoon gun. The director, James Cameron, blocks the action, working with all of us actors together, shaping the scene. As you roll, take after take, we run the entire scene, just like a run-through in theater. There are no close-ups or wide shots because the director will choose those very critical storytelling touches down the line in post-production. Instead, we're surrounded by as many as 16 reference cameras, which play a critical role in the editorial process and act as an additional layer to ground the truth of our performances as they move through visual effects. See, this is all about the actor, in the moment, imaginatively believing in the extraordinary world of Pandora. The great film director Federico Fellini maintained that an actor's transformation into a role occurred in the makeup chair. I have honored that assertion throughout my career. Years ago, I played Babe Ruth. Now, the Babe had a very distinctive nose. This is a mold of his nose, very different from my own. And when the prosthetic proboscis was cemented over my own, it served to cement my immersion into the great slugger's persona. Likewise, with the original Avatar, I truly became Quaritch when 3 chevron-like scars were in place, a reminder of the character's violently adversarial relationship with an entire planet.
Let's get this done.
Of course, wardrobe necessarily played its part, donning the Yankee pinstripes or rolling the sleeves of my marine tunic just so explicitly solidified the transformation from actor to character. But what about Quaritch, the recombatant in Avatar: The Way of Water and Avatar: Fire and Ash? No scars, no marine tunic, but really, no problem. Because the facial markers that are applied for the performance capture process and the capture suit accomplish the exact same thing. It is my makeup, it is my wardrobe. The immersive adjustment is mine to make. In fact, the tabula rasa of performance capture encourages an even deeper immersion into the method. Andy Serkis as Gollum or Caesar, Sam Worthington as Jake Sully, Zoe Saldana as Neytiri, Kate Winslet as Ronal, Cliff Curtis as Tonawari, Sigourney Weaver as Kiri, Una Chaplin as Varang. These remarkable actors and so many others have created dense and compelling and utterly believable characters via performance capture. I don't know that any of these actors would characterize themselves as method actors, but if you watch their superb work, there can be no doubt that there is method to their madness. Performance capture and the method, each a powerful tool unto itself, and I suggest even more so when employed in tandem. Hamlet, Prince of Denmark, sums it all up succinctly when he says, "I could be bounded in a nutshell and count myself king of infinite space." Performance capture and all it entails, the volume, the markers, the head rig, this is the nutshell. And within it, the borderless, boundless, and bottomless depths of the method, providing the possibility of infinite space. Thank you.
The movie event of
Avatar and The Way of Water was so beloved by people all over the world. I felt like I'd never seen anything like it.
It was an experience that captivated the world.
The day has come.
Fire and Ash is a culmination of the whole adventure across the previous 2 films. These characters go farther into new territory and meet brand new cultures.
In Fire and Ash, I play Varang. We get into some shades of gray in a world that's been so wonderfully blue.
It is going to the dark side of Pandora.
Burn them all.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
just a huge adventure about family, home, and trust.
What does Dad always say?
Sully's never quit.
That's right, Sully's never quit.
I'm really dedicated to the Avatar universe. What drives me is the sense of wonder that we're able to create in a movie theater, bringing the actors' performances to life with the most technologically advanced 3D systems to make the audience feel like this fantasy world is real.
There's something you're hiding.
Tell her it is time.
If you thought that Way of Water was big and impactful, Fire and Ash is going to be an experience unlike anything.
It's a culmination, in a way, of the whole adventure across the previous two films.
Fire and Ash is almost a direct step from the end of the second movie. It's literally where we see them starting to tear.
You said you could protect this family.
I was wrong.
Your goddess has no dominion here.
Movie making and all its technology has finally caught up with Jim Cameron's brain. And that's what is enabling him to create this world.
Jim invented this technical world that makes it possible to go out on an empty stage and ground us.
We've got to evolve it to be able to bring people on a new journey, a new adventure.
The stakes are super high right now.
No, please, please!
It's the continuation of this saga that has all the action that a James Cameron movie has, as well as things that no one's ever seen before on a big screen.
There's something you're hiding. Tell me the truth!
Tell her it is time.
Thank you for clicking on our video, everybody. If you like what you saw here, please make sure you like the video and subscribe and share with your friends who like this sort of content. Joblo remains an independent company, and we appreciate all of your support.